Pokemon's ruined, Beau.
I don't know how you could say.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Donaron podcast. I'm joined here with Beau, and it appears we have several guests on the show today as well.
A mountain of Pokemon merchandise.
It is a pile. Anyway, so how's it going?
It's going all right. It's going pretty good, especially in the world of Pokemon.
See, that's what we're gathered here today to talk about. There's a lot of controversy going on in the Pokemon world right now.
A lot of unnecessary controversy.
Surrounding the new release, or the upcoming release, I should say, of Pokemon Sword and Shield. A lot of folks are upset about the national Pokedex not being a thing in this specific iteration of it.
Yeah, the incomplete Pokedex, and the fact that they're still using Sun and Moon sprites and stuff.
That's
like that.
right. They are kind of complaining about the graphics, but I'm not so much worried about that. I mean, you kind of go into a Nintendo Switch kind of expecting lower graphics comparatively to things like the PS4 and the Xbox. But what are your thoughts on the national Dex? I know, like, you keep saying that it doesn't matter too much to you, but I want to know why.
It's happened before. We've had incomplete Dexes before. This isn't new. This is mostly people like you that have been gone from Pokemon for a long time and are coming back now. And that's most of the people that I see complaining about this.
Oh.
The fair weather fans, they haven't been around for the long run. They just sort of, ducked out, started dating girls in high school or some stupid shit like that.
I guess I can though see it from the side of, say, I don't know all your sources or whatnot on it's just people that are just coming back into it, but
that's just people I talk to.
A staple of the Pokemon games, it's even in their slogan, and I think it's on the back there, gotta catch 'em all. So wouldn't it stand to reason that a game, core RPG, will at least whittle it down to just those games, would strive to make it to where you can catch them all?
But core RPGs have not had that element before. There's precedent for this.
Is that just one game in the past, or is that multiple?
I think it was just Gen 3,
Just Gen 3?
I think. I'm not sure. But, sorry, not just Gen 3, because Gen 3 is like 70 games. It was
the Gen 3 core RPG one.
No, because there was a...
That's what I'm saying. The Gen 3 core RPG, where it was a game
Gen 3, we've had a huge argument over this recently, but Gen 3 core RPG includes a Fire Red and Leaf Green.
But you can... that's a good question. Can you import... can you trade, like, Pokemon from Silver and Heart into Fire Red and Leaf Green?
Silver and Heart? Do you mean Silver and Gold? The original Silver and Golds?
Yeah. I'm kind of curious.
Don't think so.
We need to test that out.
No, I don't think you can, because it was a totally different format of game. I don't think that any Gen 3 game, because no Gen 3 game had a time passage. None of them had a clock, so I don't think there's even models for like Umbreon or Espeon in Gen 3. Crazy.
I'd wonder. I'm actually really curious about that now. I'll have to look that up later. Anyway. No, as someone who's not into the whole like Pokemon competitive thing, and surely there are more of us out there that just like to go through the RPG.
Yeah, the blinding majority of Pokemon fans just like to play the RPG.
The idea of completing it all. You know what I would settle for? They're coming out with Pokemon Home, right? And that's kind of going to be. It's like they want that to be the Pokemon. Pokedex for all games going forward. They kind of want that to be your central hub, is what it feels like the direction they're going in.
So that you can still
catch them all.
The boxes for the original first gen? That's weird.
It does say it on the red one.
Does it?
It doesn't on the yellow one. I'm guessing because it's special
Pikachu
Pokemon
edition.
Yeah, Pikachu edition. But anyway, where was I going with this? It would still be nice if you could go back to your... professor, whatever tree they're naming it after in Sword and Shield, and get a certificate of completion because it was linked to your home. You know, like you've
Who says
caught
you
all
can't?
1,000. They have not announced. I will yield to that argument. The thing that they have announced though is that in any future patches for the Switch and Sword release, which I guess, you know, it's up to them to change their minds on it, but they have officially announced that there will not be any completed national decks in any
Magnolia.
patches.
Professor Magnolia.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
A magnolia tree. Professor Maglock.
But yeah, and I mean, it's upsetting a lot of people, but at the same time, like, real Pokemon fans are still interested in playing this game.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's just-
it's like Don said in an earlier podcast. You can critique it and love it.
Well, yes, people that critique things are people that love things. If you don't love it, you wouldn't care to critique it all. I agree with that to a certain extent, because like Reddit, every subreddit is actually dedicated to people who hate this thing. Like the subreddit for like it's always negative. They almost never have positive things to say on almost any of them. I will say the Pokemon subreddit is very positive. They're very positive.
It seems like it would be to be expected.
The,
I haven't seen too much on R Gaming about it here lately.
Because that's too general of a sub. Isn't that one of the default subs? You know better.
It wasn't default whenever I signed up for Reddit.
It's one of the like hyper popular ones, and gaming's just such a generalized thing. Like, I don't like the big broad subreddits like that. Like, I feel like you're just asking to get worse information because it's too broad of a sub. Like, it's like taking a class in college that's just called math. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
You do in high school.
No, there's no math in high school.
It was us.
Oh my god, there was a class just called math.
You didn't branch out.
You learned
as
addition
you-
and subtraction in fucking high school.
You didn't. You did branch out into then algebra, pre-calc, and trig and stuff like
Math
that.
is an elementary school class.
It's also junior. Well, no, we went through
There was
pre-algebra.
remedial math in junior high around here, which we're actually now on what you call it there, middle school.
On their middle school.
It's middle school now in this area. They go 6th through
Oh,
8th.
yeah, that's the way
You
it was
did
in
too,
Tell
didn't
City.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They after we left, they combined the high school and the junior high school, and they call it Tell City Senior Junior High.
Wait, the junior high goes to the high school building now?
Yeah, the
Wow.
old
Did they add on?
Hoosier Heights building. We're totally getting off topic and very local specific, but
I love how you always explain that. Like, people should come to expect that by now. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll rope it in. My apologies to the audience. It's just like
I forgot to open my drink.
nobody watches because we don't even do the hey, you know, we wish that we were sponsored by this. We don't. You know what? Change is our tradition. Okay.
And that's the thing about Pokemon. Is change really a tradition in Pokemon?
No, we love the core elements of the RPG. We hate when they deviate from it. When they went to just Kahunas instead of gyms in Gen 7, nobody liked that.
But
nobody
now,
did.
But now, are we going to state that catching them all is not a core element of
It's
the game?
already happened in the series. There's precedent for it.
Then why do they keep the slogan?
Because it's the slogan, Adam. And you can still catch them all. They're coming out with home. Like, I don't understand why you keep harping on this. Like, why
I think the issue with
what
home
are you scared of? What are
them-
you scared of? That you're going to love this game too much? Is that what you're scared of?
that they're
Are you
going to go mobile focused.
Yes, they are. Everyone's going mobile focused. And I don't think they'll go mobile focused in the sense that they won't still have core RPGs because we don't want to play one of the core RPGs on our phones. We don't want that.
But
as far as just
will they? I think that's what the big concern is. Will the core RPGs migrate to where it's an Android iOS release?
I don't think so. It would sell more on a console.
Here's my reasoning for that. Pokemon Go attributed for 5% of the sales over the entire life of the Pokemon company, all the way back to 1990, mid-90s, whenever it first came out.
Sure.
All time, 5%. There's no way they're not going to ignore that and start to test the waters to see, okay, what if we release the next core RPG alongside Android
They already
iOS?
did that. They already tested the waters.
That's
No, this was absolutely linked to it. I caught 6 Meltans the other day because I linked with my Pokemon.
so you
Let's Go.
downloaded Let's Go for your iOS or Android device?
No, what I'm telling you is they're already working to integrate it. They can integrate it without it all having to migrate to one place. Not everyone's as laser focused and hallway vision as you are. They understand that there could be multiple aspects to something. Like, it doesn't have to. Like, no one at Game Freak is going, we need a decision right now. Is it all going to be Switch or is it all going to be cell phone? And anyone not on team, you get the fuck out. Like, that's not happening.
I don't know if I would definitely say it's not.
I used to think that I knew people with the worst opinions on Pokemon ever. I never did until I met you.
Hey, analysis is analysis.
It's not like you see, you keep now. One thing I did like that you found out in that little Adam did a little case study.
Oh, it hasn't released yet, but we will. We will be having that up.
But you've
soon.
already collected enough data to say that
oh, no spoilers.
Fine.
It was interesting to see what people's opinions of what they felt a Pokemon RPG needed to be comprised of.
It depends on which one they started with. Almost always. I think I'm the only person whose favorite generation is not the one I started with. Well, I can't say I'm the only person I know. Nope. I'm not the only person I know. I can name someone else.
Oh, man.
So I have, in my extremely small control group, I have 2 examples of people that agree with me, and one of them is me. This is a Donald Trump case study.
I've had a lot of people tell me.
I've had a lot of people tell me Gen 1 is the best. They like the original 150. That's boring. That's not me. That's not what I do. I ask people all the time, what about Gen 2? And they say, you know what, Donald? You're on to something.
They're calling you out. Look at this. Look where your anger is going. Your rage. Your passion.
Look, he's mad too. He can't believe he's listening to your bullshit either.
Whatever. They were out of Tell City Pretzels at Schnucks, and he just can't handle it.
Oh my god, I can't believe they don't do Tell City. Oh my god, why aren't those in the shot? Oh my god, that's so good.
I know, they're right over there. We'll get them in the next one.
Right.
Anyway, where were we? We're all over the place. So you know what? While we are agreeing to disagree on whether or not this is a good or bad move for them, and either not being able to have the entire National Dex in a core RPG Switch release, or if their direction is or is not going toward
I don't
mobile.
think it's good that they don't have a complete National Dex. I never once said I thought that was good.
It's just not a deal breaker for you.
Yeah, it's moot. It doesn't matter.
And that's fine.
Right.
That's fine.
You're
more into the competitive side of it anyway.
I love competitive, and I love the core RPG.
When did you really start getting into like competitive Pokemon? Because I imagine you start out just liking the story and going through the game.
Absolutely. It wasn't until and I played Gen 1 competitively. Gen 1 competitive was a joke. Like, we all played competitively in Gen 1, but it was a joke. But I didn't really get back into it again until Generation 4 with Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Gotcha.
The Heart Gold and Soul Silver are still my favorite Pokemon games of all time. Mm-hmm. But that's because Johto is my favorite region. But as far as gens go, I've made a huge discovery about myself in just the past few weeks, and I would say that every gen is the best gen for certain reasons. Pokemon's just it's wonderful. By the way, Detective Pikachu is out on digital. By the way, my wife wanted me to iterate while I was on camera that the plushies do in fact belong to my children.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. They're yours. We know it.
I mean, I don't mind having them.
You know what though? They are your lovely children's plushies, and a happy wife is a happy life. So right. they're not yours.
Detective Pikachu is out on digital. Even if you don't like Pokemon, I strongly suggest watching that movie. It's just a fun summer movie.
I'll have to check it out. Jalen's not too into Pokemon. She's into DuckTales and My Little Ponies and whatnot, but she'll maybe one day. One of her friends is, but they stay the night over here. I bet we end up watching it. Mm-hmm. So what's your favorite feature of it? Competitive aside, what's your favorite feature of Sword and Shield going to be?
I really think that what is it? The new Frontier area, Wild area.
Oh, yeah, the Frontier.
God, that looks so good.
Oh no, it's not Battle Frontier. That was on Gen 4 or 5 or something.
Was that Gen
When
4
was
or
that?
Was that Gen 3?
I forget. But it's the wild area. It's
Yeah.
just an open area. You can see some Pokemon. You can't. There are still some random battles, and what? It's Dynamax, isn't it?
Yeah, you get Dynamax and Gigantamax.
Yeah. It seems like you can join other people's games too, and kind of join them in the wild area. Go tag team a big old boy somewhere.
The characters, the trainer NPCs, the gym leaders, it just looks like a great gen. I like that they're keeping with the world view of going to different regions in the world. With this one being the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
I think that looks fun. But mostly, I'm most excited to find out about what I'm most excited to find about every time a new Pokemon game comes out, and that is the new Pokemon we're getting.
Sure, we've got a handful of them, but we haven't got all of them. Have they said how many they're going to give us?
I think
70 or 80 of them or something like that.
it has to be more than that because I think what I heard was that we're going to wind up with over 1,000 when all is said and done.
Oh wow!
This is actually going to be the one that breaks 1,000 Pokemon.
That'll be crazy.
And it's just and of course there are Pokemon from the now. Gen 5 is another one of my favorite gens, and the reason I like Gen 5 so much, my main reason for it is that you cannot catch an older Pokemon until after you beat the Elite Four.
But you can have a completed Pokedex up to Generation 5.
That's fine. But you can catch the only Pokemon you're going to see until you beat the Elite Four are new Pokemon. I thought that was such a cool feature, and
yeah, I could be fine with that.
It made it new. And but having said that, in Gen 8 there are already Pokemon I'm hoping from the past that are going to make the new decks.
Right.
But it'd be cool if they didn't. From a competitive standpoint, certain ones would be cool because there's just so many that have been such a competitive staple for so long. Mm-hmm. And also the fact that Mega Evolution is not a thing is already changing. It's already changing the meta. Like if Mawile,
I guess they kind of couldn't do it with Dynamax being a thing. Yeah.
If Mawile makes it into the game, doesn't matter. She's not competitively viable.
Oh wow! Is that
without Mega? Unless they change her move set a lot.
Yeah.
But also Gen 6. I remember the big deal on Gen 6 was Fairy type was introduced.
That one.
That messed up a lot. That messed up competitive because
that's
suddenly
interesting.
Sableye has a weakness now.
Fairy type wasn't before Gen 6?
Gen 6, it was introduced in Gen 6.
That's interesting because don't they describe Clefairy or Clefable as a fairy Pokemon?
Yes, and when a new type is introduced, they'll often go back and change Pokemon of the past to fit that type.
That's interesting. What was it originally?
Magnemite.
Normal?
Yes, normal.
Interesting.
Magnemite, they went back and changed him to Steel Electric in Gen 2.
I guess that makes sense.
He wasn't Steel in Gen 1 because there was no Steel.
Because he's like literally got screws in him.
Gengar, I believe, is Dark Ghost, isn't he? And he wasn't Dark Ghost till Gen 2.
Interesting. I
Ghost.
feel like I'm really stretching back in some memory, but I feel like they were talking about it in their descriptions back then. Like when Gen 1, they were saying like this fairy type of Pokemon, but they labeled the actual
Gen 1,
type
Arcanine
normal.
is a legendary Pokemon. If you check his Dex entry, it says legendary Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's not.
He's not a... Well... Legendary is not exactly a type.
No, he's Ghost Poison. He's always been Ghost Poison, Gengar. My mistake.
Oh, interesting. But no, Legendary is not exactly a type. It's more just like a label.
Legendary just means there's only one of them you can catch naturally in the game.
Yeah. Which is interesting because you can't catch an Arcanine, can you? You have to evolve it with a Firestone, right?
Yeah, you evolve it. You evolve for... Sorry. I saw something pop up on my Facebook. I'm sorry it was during a thing, but it was a guy asking if you should play Dragon Quest 3 or 8.
Oh my God. Well, that's
a ridiculous
important.
question.
That's important.
Because you should just play both.
Yeah.
In fact, anyone that's been interested since the Hero podcast went live yesterday on what my opinions of what Dragon Quest game you should play are, it's rather simple. Play 1 through 11.
There you go.
There you go. They're all good.
Yeah.
They're all 100% good.
And speaking of that, because I'm hoping those I hope those do get like re-released on Switch, so I can play.
There's been so many re-releases already, but I don't see why they wouldn't keep doing it. That's kind of Square Enix's thing.
I really hope they do that.
I mean, they're on mobile, but you hate mobile gaming, so.
Yeah. The I do hope that they do a Let's Go for Silver and Heart, or Gold and Silver. Sorry.
Yeah, I would absolutely lose my shit over that. I would.
What was the third title in that? Platinum? Crystal. They would probably model it like they modeled that more after Yellow. They would probably model it after Crystal.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the huge things I miss in Pokemon. Red, blue, yellow. Gold, silver, crystal. Ruby, sapphire, emerald.
They could so do it with Sword and Shield.
Diamond, pearl, platinum, and that was it.
I hope
it ended there.
I really hope it's Beau.
Black and white went to black and white too.
Those are actual sequels, weren't they?
Yes, direct sequels, and they're awesome. Don't get me wrong, they're awesome, but I would have really liked to have had a Pokemon Gray version.
Yeah.
In Gen 6, there was such strong rumors of Pokemon Z.
Yeah.
Z version. I don't know why they didn't do it. And then in Sun and Moon, Star.
Mm-hmm.
We could have had Star. And in Sword and Shield, Helmet?
I'm still pulling for Beau. But you said armor in one of our
armor. Yeah, I could see that. The cod piece, Pokemon cod piece.
Oh my god, that would be funny. Helmet.
But it's again, the fact of the matter is, everyone's acting like this is the first time Pokemon's done this. It's not. It's nowhere near the first time they've done it. The games always turn out good.
It's possibly the first time they've done it.
No, it's not. I'm a little murky on if it was Gen 3. I'm pretty sure it was Gen 3, but I know this happened before. There is precedent for this in the Pokemon series for that not to be a complete dex. That's absolutely been there.
You know what? A proponent for why I keep wanting to say Heart. Gold and Silver are the best ones for you. You not only got, of course, they were working with a quarter of the Pokemon at that time, but you not only got to catch them all and trade anything in from the red, blue, and yellow game, but you got to go back and see Kanto as it was after Red had done his.
It's still the only Johto is still the only region where its games feature you being able to go back to the previous region.
That would be so
and
cool
see what happened
if they would do that. It'd be a gigantic undertaking, but you know what? I could wait. It would fall in line with Sakurai's Everyone's Back.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love that to happen. But
you know what I hope it doesn't evolve into? An MMO.
I would hate a Pokemon MMO. I would absolutely hate one.
I don't think I would like that. I'd be put off.
I've been thinking about this long and hard. I don't think the world needs another MMO. I think we're good. What's your favorite
one right now?
My favorite MMO? The one that I would probably be most interested in playing in right now is WoW. There's a guy on Facebook, Kamek Attack. He's a streamer. He's an excellent streamer. He posts a lot of lore stuff, and he just posted a little bit about Kalia Minithil.
Yeah.
Artha's sister.
Oh, gotcha.
She's apparently going to play a big part in Battle for Azeroth here soon, and just lore keeps me coming back to WoW more than anything else.
Yeah.
If you want to know a little bit more about my history with Warcraft, we'll have more on that later in the podcast. But
yeah. We're definitely going to have our own podcast over Warcraft.
There will be multiple Warcraft ones, just like there's going to be multiple.
Especially with the upcoming fall here, there's going to be some good things.
Just like we're going to have multiple ones with Pokemon.
Yeah.
But Warcraft, I would have to say, you would have to bring some really, really convincing data to the table to tell me that World of Warcraft is not the greatest massively multiplayer online RPG.
It's definitely the most successful, for sure.
And there's and it's successful by such a wide margin that you're going to have to really, really bring some hard data to the table to convince me.
Everyone imitates it.
Yes, every other MMO that is still currently commercially successful is absolutely a WoW clone.
Do you know the only one I could see that would break and not imitate it would be Pokemon? I just don't see the interface of WoW translating to Pokemon.
Now, having said that, WoW is the greatest, but there absolutely would not be a World of Warcraft without EverQuest.
Oh
EverQuest ran so Warcraft could walk.
Right.
Absolutely. Or is that the other way around? I don't know. A watched pot never boils. I'm trying to demonstrate that I don't know phrases very well.
Okay.
But, yeah. It doesn't, though. You ever tried watching a pot till it boiled? You'll sit there a while, buddy.
You're sitting there a while, but it eventually boils.
You might. Nope. I always go away and do something else.
Wow.
You got to check on it. I mean, you don't just let it go. But. Also another thing I'm super excited about with Sword and Shield is the card game. I cannot wait for the new sets.
When did they come out?
Usually right alongside the game.
Like,
or not long after.
Or I didn't know if they came out before.
Bit before.
Gotcha. Oh, that could be revealing on what Pokemon are in the game if they haven't announced
that's
everything.
why they try not to do much longer before.
But no, Pokemon MMO, that seems like where they're starting to bring in elements of it, though.
I think they're keeping it separate because like Pokemon Masters is coming out,
right?
Stuff like that. I think they're doing a good job of keeping it separate because I guess the best way to see it is you kind of got this narrow look at it. Like you're like, oh, because Warcraft. Maybe it's because your experience with like Warcraft and stuff. Because Warcraft was like, we're not in RTS anymore. We're not. Mm-hmm. We're just not touching that ever again. We're gonna go straight. But Pokemon, I mean, look at all the side games that Pokemon's had before. Pokemon's never been restricted to something.
No, but an MMO would be would definitely be a big leap compared to any of the other side games that they've had. I could see where they could do it though. If you wanted to just keep your game, if you just wanted to keep your game localized to you, but they could require some elements for you to join up with some friends to do it.
Final Fantasy did 2 MMOs. Dragon Quest did one.
I bet they would do it with the Diablo approach, to where you can post that you're online, that you're in game, and people can join your game and go around with you.
Dragon Quest did an MMO. Dragon Quest X was an MMO.
It was. They didn't bring it over.
Still has no Western release.
Yeah, I don't know how well it's doing in Japan.
Dragon Quest does not do well in the West. Comparatively, it is not a huge West
But I wonder
staple.
how specifically 10 does in Japan. I'll have to look it up later.
I'm pretty sure it does well. Dragon Quest is huge in Japan. One of the things I would love to do when I go to Japan is go to the Dragon Quest bar.
That would be nice.
I just think that looks so cool.
But anyway, no, I bet they start to introduce elements of massive multiplayer into Pokemon, trying to get folks to get together and whatnot. Focus more on phasing it into mobile. They probably won't have. I don't even think the next generation will be on the Nintendo and on Android iOS. But I bet come 10 or 11 that they're released right alongside each other. And it's kind of an interesting question for Nintendo completely. While the Switch has been massively successful, I can't deny that. I think they're even the best-selling system. It makes you think, what if Nintendo went to just being a developer instead of a hardware person? Because now
this is something that's been talked about since the 64.
But now they have like that really good relationship with Microsoft, which that could even be a question for Microsoft. Are they going to be just more of a focus more on development and just software updates to existing hardware?
The Scarlet comes out next year, so Microsoft has told you for now no.
Right.
And I think that's just I mean, I'm not going to count it out of possibilities, but I don't see Nintendo doing that in the foreseeable future. Don't.
It would be interesting.
It would be very interesting, but I don't see it happening because Nintendo has a strength that Sega didn't, and that is its hardware sells so well because of the first party software and the fact that you can't get that other places. Like people could say all they want that that they're not so concerned about because remember the Wii was one of the best selling systems of all time still. The Wii sold like crazy, and one of its biggest criticism from hardcore gamers was that it didn't have enough third party software. But it turns out no one gives a shit about that with Nintendo. Nobody. You want to play Smash Brothers. You don't care if the new Call of Duty comes out for it.
Well, they must give a little bit of
didn't hurt the Wii sales at all.
It still must give a little bit of. They must. What am I trying? I can't spit it out. They must give a little bit of care to it because they wouldn't have signed a contract with Microsoft for stuff being released on their system if they didn't care about third party.
No, I didn't say they didn't. I didn't say they didn't. I said their consumers
Would that even
don't.
constitute as third party since they're a first party developer? I guess it'd be a third party to Nintendo.
Yes, it would. Because everyone's a first party developer for themselves.
I guess. I think first party and all, I think, is the big three. But anyway, I digress. How's that game fuel treating you? Mm-hmm. Nothing like a pale ale followed by...
It goes together a lot better than you think. The new Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel is specifically crafted to give you the boost you need with ingredients shown to improve accuracy and alertness, and there's a tiny number 1 next to accuracy and alertness. Yes. And wait. See gamefuel.com for details. More on that later. We're going to investigate that.
More on them saying, these are highly volatile statistics.
As of recording, we're sitting in the midst of EVO weekend. Soul Calibur 6 is already wrapped up last night.
Right.
It was just a one-day tournament. And I wonder how many of these are sitting around EVO and what effect it is having on where you
they're going to have record-breaking events happen.
But
anyway, what did you bring here? You've got the plushies that are your kids.
First, let's be clear: the games are yours.
The 2 games.
Yeah,
are mine.
the 2 games are yours. I don't know where my yellow and my red are. These are 3 packs that I bought this morning.
Oh, cool.
This is a box I bought last night that has 8 packs in it, sleeves, dice, and status counters. This is my daughter Ripley's Torchic. This is my son Braxton's Detective Pikachu. We bought him. I took him and his best friend to see Detective Pikachu, and we went to Target afterwards. And he absolutely didn't ask for it, but I bought it anyway. And then this is my original Pokemon. Card game binder.
Your card game.
Filled with all the way up to, I believe this goes all the way to Gen 2. I have a lot of different unknowns. Yeah, it looks like nope, I have some Gen 3 cards in here.
Cool.
So, this was, I also have a Pikachu EX, which tells me that my son has added to this recently. Because I don't think GX was out I don't think GX cards were out when I was in high school, but... Yeah, but Pokemon is it's an extreme money franchise.
It is.
An extreme money franchise. Yep. Disney actually owns the rights to televising Pokemon in the West.
Really? I didn't know that.
So Disney Plus will have the Pokemon anime.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. And the fact that there's a Disney Switch coming out in Japan.
Oh my God!
It's all coming up. Sora for Smash,
yes.
All of it. But more importantly,
no more Pokemon DLC for Smash.
More importantly, we know that Illumination Entertainment, the Minions guys, are making a Mario Brothers movie.
Oh.
And I don't remember who did Detective Pikachu. Who was that? Legendary. It was the same people that did
gotcha.
Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when the massive... Because Detective Pikachu was a success. Mm-hmm. It's one of the few video game movies that everyone's like, the critics liked it, it did well, people liked it.
Right.
What happens when Disney's like, okay, we're good. We'll do it. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Ash isn't canon anymore.
Oh my God. No, well, actually, people like that because as we get older, we kind of look back on Ash and we're like, he was given his first 2 gym badges literally out of pity. Literally. Like, they felt bad for him and gave him and then he was like, I didn't earn this. Like, no, heck no. You taught me about, like,
life,
believing in myself.
Yeah.
And they're like, just take it.
Just go away.
Just go. Yeah. And, of course, Misty needed her bike back. So, and she hated bugs.
Yeah.
God, that girl hated bugs.
No.
But it'll be really interesting if Disney's like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. We're making a Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
Like with the CG that was because that's what I think is funny. Is like everyone's complaining about the CG in the Lion King. And it's because they look too much like real animals. There's no expression on their faces.
Gotcha.
Like
you gotta look in their eyes.
The whole scene with Simba and Scar, like it's literally nothing. It's just 2 cats looking at each other. Like,
which is crazy because the internet puts a ton of personality into cats.
They complain about Aladdin, the genie, of course.
Yeah.
But Detective Pikachu, everyone just loves the way those and what I love about it is they made them look the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
They didn't change it up, really.
They weren't those disgusting pictures that you see on the internet of people
what if
making
Pokemon were real? And it's like,
the realistic ones where it's that distinctive art style.
Right, and
It's pretty wild.
so I would love to see a Disney Pokemon movie. I would love it.
Maybe they'll have a Detective Pikachu game. Whoa.
There is a Detective Pikachu game.
There is?
Yeah,
Oh,
for the
cool.
DS or 3DS. Sorry, that's what that's the specific game that the movie's based on.
Well, neat.
And we still loved. What was funny was it was one of the few times recently where fans didn't get what they thought they wanted, and they still liked the movie because fans thought they wanted Danny DeVito to be Pikachu's voice, which would have been great.
That would have been interesting.
But,
Gilbert Gottfried's who I'd want.
They got Ryan Reynolds, so everyone was like, "Oh, Deadpool," and they just loved it.
Yeah.
Because Deadpool's like, that's just like
Deadpool and Pokemon go together. I mean, if you're going to see two bumper stickers on the back of somebody's car around here, it's going to be those two.
it's going to be what team they are on Go.
Oh my God! Yeah.
And Deadpool, and the Deadpool one will say something like Chimichanga,
Yeah.
and then they'll get out of their car, and someone's going to be like, "Dude, that is a sick
Yeah.
bumper sticker," and they're like,
Yeah.
blow out
Oh,
this fat
if they're
vape cloud.
vaping, they
Yeah.
have the giant it and the stick figure next to
Yeah.
it as well. Oh yeah, you know that one. That one's a doozy.
They vape. They definitely vape.
They definitely blow the fattest vape.
Oh my god, dude! They clouds for days.
Yes, very much. Anyway, all right. So, what's your concluding thoughts on Sword and Shield? It's coming up. It's getting
coming
really
up November.
close.
My concluding thoughts: these games are going to do great. People are going to love them because everyone griped about this. Everyone griped about this. Nobody wanted to play this, and then it came out, and we all loved it. All of us did. So, and I'm especially looking forward to it because I've always maintained that Sinnoh was my least favorite region, and I just started a Nuzlocke challenge with a bunch of guys from work, and I'm having a blast. I'm falling in love with the region, and I actually found my old strategy guide that I bought. And an interesting
Jesus Christ, that's big.
interesting thing about this was the first game in a long time that had a complete deck. So it has dex entries for all 492 Pokemon that were current in Gen 4.
Wow.
This
is huge.
So what I loved about Platinum, like I said, I went a long time hating Sinnoh, but when it first came out, I loved it. I did. It was the newest Pokemon, and an interesting thing about this Nuzlocke challenge is when I first bought Platinum, I was first married. We didn't have kids yet. Me and Ash had just gotten married. And I went to Walmart. I bought Platinum version, and I bought this book. And when I went to the glass container to get the game, I actually said, "Hey, I need that one right there." And it was this really old man. He's like, "The Pokemon?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, the Pokemon." And he grabbed the Pokemon for me. But I went home and played it, and like games are strongly tied to memory for me. Like,
Sure.
when I sit down and play a game, I can remember parts of my life where I was also sitting down playing that game very clearly, and I can remember, you're in your shitty apartment when you're just married. We're in our newlywed bed.
Right.
I'm sitting on the edge playing Platinum with the music going, and Ashley would be in bed, like, playfully kicking at me, like, "Hey, get off the game. Let's watch a movie together," or something. Like, just floods of memories coming back from. So if you fell out of love with a region or a game in Pokemon, Nuzlocke it. I guarantee you it and Pokemon in the first place.
It'll make the game more engaging for sure.
And it will strengthen your marriage. It will.
Did it strengthen your and Ashley's marriage?
Yes, absolutely. It will. You'll hug your kids a little tighter. You're going to call your mother, and you're going to say, "Hey, I know I've never told you this, but thank you for giving birth to me. Like, thank you for life." That's I'm here for a reason, Mom, and thank you. You're gonna.
I'm here to Nuzlocke this game.
You know what? When 8 o'clock or 7:30 p.m. hits, you're gonna get up from your chair and walk outside, and your wife or your husband or your partner is gonna say, "Where are you going?" You're gonna say, "I'm just gonna watch the sunset."
Wow.
Like that's what a Nuzlocke challenge will do for you.
It has clearly affected you.
And speaking of things that have affected me, if you want to know the birthplace of my introduction to Pokemania, I know the whole time you're listening to this, you're like, "Gosh, how did this guy get so into this?"
Yeah.
Thankfully, there's a way to know. On Amazon.com, Foundational 90s Games for Rust Belt Millennials, a brilliant title by, I think, Don.
Yes, Don came up with that.
And more of that wordplay from Don is available in the book, as you can see, he got second billing.
Yeah, we'll have a link for it in the description below.
He works for a newspaper. He did a ton of work editing this.
He did.
So it's very, very professionally done. This is a great book for you got a road trip you're not driving on. Summertime, hitting the beach, that light beach reading, ladies. This is great. I actually wrote the entry for Pokemon Red and Blue version. It's available now on Amazon.com. Pick you up a copy. And I tell you what, if you enjoyed learning about how a Nuzlocke challenge can literally cure any mental illness you're experiencing, go ahead and like this video. Share it with your friends if you want them to know about the healing power of Nuzlocke. And do us a favor. If you want to know more about how video games can fix literally any problem you're experiencing, subscribe, because we're going to cover more in the future.
Send us your problems, and we'll video Beau answering those questions.
Right, through a video game.
There's going to be one
process.
answer.
And again, if you dislike the video, just mind your fucking business and go watch something else. Don't hit the dislike. Where's your podcast? Where's it at?
We're going to get a lot of podcast links being like, here.
Like, here, this is my podcast. And you know what? We're not going to watch it because we're too busy making our own.
No, we'll listen to it.
I'm not going to listen. No, you know what? If you do it for that reason, I'm not going to listen to it. But if you send one, you're like, hey, buddy, I just think you'd like this one. I guarantee you I will. But if you send one just to be a dickhead, then I'm not going to listen to
that. Would be an interesting day. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. And also, did you guys know they still sold tech decks?
Wow, those are still a thing.
Oh my God, there's so many of them at the store. I bought 3 yesterday because I work in a factory and the line always shuts down and people yell at us for not doing anything. So I told the guys, I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to play with tech decks if they're going to yell at us for not doing anything.
I was never any good at these.
Oh, I'm terrible. I think I could do a jump now. Hang on. No, you know what?
You're killing it there.
I'm much better if you play some yellow cards.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.